all the mamas had a good Mother's Day. To my left, I got my man, a.k.a. Ruff, Greg Doss. What's happening with you, man?
What?
Dade City, Waldo is not in the building with us tonight. World famous. He's off, but
in his absence, you're welcome.
Okay, appreciate it. And tonight gonna be fun tonight. We done covered, since me and you been kicked, we done did basketball, football, boxing, MMA, track. But baseball is gonna be the subject of what we getting on tonight.
Finally.
So without further ado, man, we got a couple coaches.
I'm gonna look like one tonight. Yeah. I wear my shades just for y'all.
This guy. Okay. So without further ado, man, I'm going to introduce AAU coaches, Tampa Terminators, James Anderson and Lorenzo Benders.
All right now, yeah.
Appreciate y'all, really do.
Appreciate y'all coming. Like I say, this is long overdue, man. So excuse me for being giddy, because this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, is the baseball in the Bay Area. And you graduated Hillsborough High School in 1989, so I know you saw a lot before you, a lot, after you. So coming out of Hillsborough in 1989, was baseball your plan? That's what you want to do?
The path was clear.
Okay.
Because we had, we came up over on the east side at Belmont Heights Little League.
Okay.
And we had guys like Albert Everett, Casey Sheffield, Vance Lovelace, Dwight Gooden, Floyd Yeomans.
Yeah.
We had guys like that, Tony Thomas, and just people who didn't make it, who was like top tier baseball players on that side.
Right.
But a lot of those guys, they went to Hillsborough before us, and when we would be at the Little League baseball park, we would see them coming back to the park with Coach Reed. And a lot of them still had like Little League eligibility on the big field. So some of them was like 15, some of them was like 16. And they had this thing called the big Belmont, like the big boys between 16 and 18. So when they would come from the high school field, we would see them with their Hillsborough uniforms on.
Okay.
And once Dwight got drafted in 82, everybody that came from under that, we already knew it was clear.
Yeah, the path was already there.
We knew it was baseball. It was no question. You was gonna be you going all in because it was real.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story, man. The White pitched 4th of July 1985 in Atlanta, and I'm a Braves fan because I remember he hit the league in '84, and when he hit, he took off. And it was like, who is this dude? He from Tampa, Florida. So that was my first introduction. I knew about the Bucks, but growing up, everything seemed so far away.
Right.
But they started talking about different places.
Right.
So to move down, I moved out here '89. You graduated. So I remember East Lake Ball, all the stuff going on, and Dwight was like royalty, still is.
Right.
But Dwight good, like people were proud, like they were Dwight from.
Right. He was the first one. He was the first. We talk all the time. We text each other. Been knowing him since I was a kid, and he was the first one, and it was just the way it happened for him. He graduated at 17, and at 19, in 2 years, he was in the big leagues.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when we was coming up over there, we just knew, and then he coming up in the Benz, coming up the Belmont Heights Little League.
Yeah,
and then Sheffield, he's right behind him, but he's a couple of grades over us. Yeah. And then we looking at all this, and then the main thing was when me and a guy named Keith Hopkins, we all came up. Okay, so Keith, we like this. So we played minor league baseball together for a lady named Miss Ann Sullivan back in the day. Miss Ann, she was the minor league coach. And when we were young, they were going to Williamsport a lot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was World Series.
So the 80 and the 81 team, they pretty much they went a couple of times. They went a bunch of times, but it was that 80 and 81 team that pretty much put the park on the map. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so we wanted to be like Sheffield and Shag and Derek Bell and Maurice Crum. Yeah. You know what I mean? We wanted to be the next group of guys that would be on that team. Right. But on the big field, those guys was on the big field doing their thing. And then back in those days, it wasn't MLK at the time. It was called Buffalo.
I still remember that.
Buffalo wrapped all the way around the park, all the way past Young Junior High School.
Wow.
Past Lockhart, all the way on Lake. and people would come from all over the city, all ethnicities, just to watch all this talent that was at this park.
Wow.
You know, so.
And then the thing about that is Hillsborough was the zone school, so it's kind of formality. You play at Belmont Heights, you're going to
right in a serious something serious happened around that time. So when the Gaither came into existence, they kind of broke all that up, and it was funny. Like in College Hill, you had some people that went to Hillsborough, you had some went to Jefferson, and you had some that went to Gaither. And if you were south of 22nd, around Ponce de Leon, a lot of them went to Robinson.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
So
that
Hillsborough really didn't get
what they had.
too. What they had.
right.
Okay. So moving forward, okay, you get drafted, you go out, you play with the A's. How long were you with their organization?
Well, listen, I got drafted by the A's,
Okay.
but my father didn't let me sign.
Oh,
He didn't let me sign.
Okay.
My father was a social worker and a pastor
okay.
on the east side of Tampa.
Okay.
Right. So he graduated from USF, and
Great
he was a
institution.
Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
So my father, he could care less about baseball. You know, I'm one of those kids where it was like it was really on me.
Okay.
You know, like we was talking earlier about how the fathers, the lack of the fathers being at the park.
Right.
You know, I come from a 2-parent home,
Okay.
but my father had no interest in sports. So when I was drafted, my father was like, "You're not signing. You're going to get an education." So
Okay.
I went to Faulkner State. Me and Chris Wilson.
Mobile, yeah. Shout out
Okay.
Chris, yeah. Out of
My
Mobile,
man, we
yeah.
went up there, and I was up there for like a month, and I got into it with the coach, and I ended up back in Tampa, and I transferred to Polk College.
Okay.
Lakeland.
And this was in '90.
Okay.
So it was me, Keith Hopkins was roommates.
Okay.
And Vernon Slater, he stayed.
Yeah, Vernon was coaching at Miller at one time. Okay.
Vernon was in college with me.
Okay.
And shout out to my man Hollywood, Darren Jones.
Yeah.
The four of us.
Red Stone.
Yeah, man. Good brother. And
Yeah.
the four of us, we was at Polk College,
Okay.
and we was down there for a little while, and I played for them a little bit, and then I went to ACC,
Okay.
and then I went
Play with Donnell then.
I played with
No,
me
Calhoun.
and Dewani. Calhoun was the
Calhoun
coach,
was the coach, yeah.
and Dewani Griffin. Him
Yeah.
and I was in the outfield.
Okay.
At
So
for
he's there
Hillsborough.
with us.
Yeah, we was there at
Yeah.
Hillsborough Community College, and then something happened. Not nothing negative, but I'm saying the Rockies picked me up, and I went to like a trial or something, and I signed with them, and I played with them for a summer,
Okay.
and we was going from time, and I was like, nah, man, this, you know, and that's when I went to the Marine Corps.
But I think some of the too though is that
Okay.
that baseball, like especially like minor league, it's a lot of grunt work.
Right, because if you're not a high draft pick, that's really how you're gonna survive.
Yeah.
Because there's a scale
Yeah.
on what you make. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you really don't make any money.
Right.
So a lot of cats get lost in minor league baseball because you got rookie ball, A ball, double A, triple A, and then you have the
Devin
big
told me the
leagues.
same thing. You know, crazy enough, you know, when I was out there, you know who was playing for the Diablos, and I was, and appreciate your service, I was out in El Paso. Guess who was out there, and I didn't realize it until I think it was transition time.
You're good.
He'll tell you who's out there with the Diablos in El Paso. Gary,
Sheffield.
Yep.
with the Diablos.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes,
Because he was drafted by.
He was drafted.
San Diego,
Gary.
right?
He was drafted by Milwaukee.
Exactly. Yeah.
Milwaukee.
You're right.
He was
the
drafted
Brewers.
by
You're
Milwaukee.
right. I remember that.
He was drafted by the Brewers out of high school, and he did his thing in the minor. They called him up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, Gary hit the most home runs pretty much in the history of minor league baseball in a 2-year span. So they called him up early. He got called up like at 18.
I got a buddy of mine, man, I used to work with this years ago. And he said Gary Sheffield hit the ball harder when the ball jumped off his bat. Say he hit violent.
Yeah.
And I just remember this was like 19. He was like playing. That's the year he played with the Padres. Where he almost was close on the Triple Crown.
That
That season. So it's like I'm working that chase. So it's a buddy of mine,
That was
man.
like, I think that was like
Who
92.
did he lose the MVP to? Because somebody, I know I was
92.
living, because I don't celebrate anybody. Yes.
I don't know who it was 93, but I think it was the 93 season.
It was 93 or 92.
Might have
Should
been
have been
Bonds.
the
Might have been
MVP
Bonds. It might have been Bonds. Might have been Bonzi.
I'm not sure.
But he put up crazy. But he put up crazy numbers
insane numbers.
And he said, my buddy Matthew Perlett, if he's out there, Matt played for Clearwater High, and he said Hillsborough came over, and he said, man, he had never. He said he played third base, and he said he was like playing like on the grass because he hit the ball it was violent. And he said, the coach, I said, there's a kid at Hillsborough, he hits the ball very aggressively. So he's like, they were warming up, he said, man, Shea Sheffield was killing the ball.
Gary put up records his senior year in this city that's still saying. In the span, probably Gary's entire high school career, he probably only struck out 2 times. And he has the record for the most home runs in a single season. Got like 14 or 15.
Wow.
He's in '86. He was National Gatorade Player of the Year.
Now, what position did you play at Hillsborough?
I played first and played outfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I played outfield.
And Coach, where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to school?
He just here city with me. This my little brother.
I was young.
He was a football guy. He went to plant.
I watched him in the
He
okay.
went to plant. Yeah, he's
a guy.
Yeah, he's a plant guy.
So let me ask you. So moving forward, so you go through the Marine Corps. What gets you back into coaching youth Bay? What gets
when I came back home?
Yeah, what got you into that?
I came back to Tampa in 1998.
Okay, Club Atlanta, jumping the garage, swinging. It's a lot going on back there.
But listen, man, I had already passed all that.
Okay,
yeah, because I'm up in DC.
Amazing.
You understand what I'm saying?
Electric.
So I'm stationed at one place for the entire 4 years. I was up there.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I had the Northern Virginia thing, all that. So when I came back home, I wasn't really, into all that.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So I got back into coaching. I would coach here and there, getting into it. But when I really went all the way in is when my youngest son was born.
Okay.
His name is Chico.
Okay.
Chico. He's 11. So that's when I got like, you know what I'm saying?
Laser focus. This is what I'm going to do.
This is what it is. This is the direction I'm going to take. Now, I would jump in and out. Dewani, Ty Griffin, my man,
Ty, great,
man, Taylor Made. We all had a team at Bama Hype, but my son wasn't playing. So I would coach, but I was like, man, I wish I had a boy, that could play baseball. So I was coach, but when my son was born in 2012, I said, you know what, I'm going to get all the way back in.
I'm going to get in there.
And that's where I really found my love for the game again, because baseball can break your heart.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
The best player don't always make it.
But even with that though, like I said, it's a lot of work.
Devin said that too.
It's a lot of work that you put into it. And I think like with your son at 11, was he receptive to you when hey, look, you gonna, cause we got dads that, hey, this is what you gonna do.
Right.
You gonna do, this is what you gonna do.
Right. One thing about my son, see, the baseball pedigree is there. My cousin is Tim Anderson. He's the shortstop for the Miami Marlins.
Got drafted by he's from
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah, but he got drafted by the White Sox.
White
yeah,
Sox.
okay, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So Tim, he got it from our side of the family. Now his dad, man, was an awesome baseball player, but he got caught up, way back in the day.
Yeah.
And he, my cousin, he was pretty much incarcerated the entire time. Tim was coming up.
Okay.
But my point is the pedigree is there. So my son, he's receptive to it. He doesn't have a problem because this is what he want to do.
Okay.
He came to me when he was young. And he was like, this is what he had no clue. A lot of us who play baseball at a high level and guys who play at high, they hate it. They can't with the
politics of
no,
it.
That too, but like the way the game is, what's the word? Analytics.
Analytics. Yeah, that's the new word.
They don't like it. They don't like it. They don't even. I got friends call.
We don't have. Despite what he's going to say, we don't have a championship in Tampa because of analytics. Because when my man was hot and pitching, you pull him on analytics, and I've been wanting him fired since then.
Right. A lot of guys that play at a high level.
I just feel bad for you.
They don't like. They do not like.
Throw it till it comes off, man.
The state of the game.
But I think now is that it's so much money that's being made now. When you sit back and think, I'm thinking about like, I don't know what Dwight contract was, say in '84, but Dwight probably wasn't making $300,000 a year. Just think off the top of my head.
When he first got there?
When he first got there.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. So now you looking at somebody just got like, they got guys making $25-30 million a year. They pitch every 4-5 days.
Right.
That's a lot of them. But you look at not just middle relievers. You know who DHs make huge money now, and I did not realize the kind of money. I was looking at the chart because I'm trying to figure out how to get Kevin Cash out of here. But at any rate, but I saw the numbers. I'm like, not for what we make here in Tampa,
right?
But I started looking at some of these other guys and I said, this dude make a lot of money, right? And all he does is hit now because now you have
they earn it. I feel they'll deserve it. Because they play 165
right,
games.
But like you said, but even that, the
market
has changed.
I ain't going to get the money.
The market has changed, so the money's a lot different too. So I mean, I get it.
It's very political. It's very political. It's the baseball is you have no idea.
I know you're gonna tell us.
I mean, I'm just saying what goes into it. Like you talking about image, endorsements, really the game. I mean, when you look at
it's funny
the
you
lack
say
of
that.
African Americans.
It's
funny you say that because I'm being from Atlanta. I'm a Braves fan, so we grew up. You had Dale Murphy, Bob Horner in the '80s. Then we slide to the '90s. It becomes a little more urban. You got Ron Gant, Dave Justice, Dion, Brian Jordan. Slide to the 2000s. Now you got more of the Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Smokes. Now our three biggest names are Acuna, Albies, and Ozuna.
That's right. Well, they black, but ain't no English.
That's what I'm saying. But
ain't no English coming out their mouth.
Right, but that's even like with Acuna and Albie, when they get on base, they animated. When they get on base, they get animated. So it's like, is America really ready for that? But I think in Atlanta, you ain't got no choice but to, because that's what, I mean, we got Riley, we got some bats, but when you see Albie, he got his hair crazy, Acuna got his jewelry on, it's a lot going on. So that's why I say, I just think for me, as a fan
that's right.
of the game, I love it. But when you talk about that conservative fan that's
very conservative,
30, 40 year season ticket holder, that grew up watching Phil Negro, and
very conservative.
His daddy left his tickets, in his will. He's not like, wait, like, what is this?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But but that's what's happening, in Atlanta.
Right.
Don't act like you didn't hear what the man said.
But it's very conservative. And then when
we had a discussion too about that. Somebody said, while we're not there, I said, you're looking at the guy, but when he speaks, see, they're comfortable with that. Then it won't be comfortable with me. Like, I have an issue with, we'll talk about later on, about Gary not being in the hall. You're not going to make that make sense to me.
Right. Yeah, my man, and shout out to you, Bug. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
With
the numbers, and that's what it should be predicated, just on your numbers.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Regardless of your voice, what you've stated, how you feel on certain things, it should be what you did between the lines.
Well, y'all from urban areas, truth alone will get you sanctioned. Just truth. Gary always spoke, stood on his truth. Right. And he spoke the truth, and he spoke from the heart. But one thing I could say, you was talking about the international game and how the game is in America. We're falling behind because the baseball players that are coming from those areas in the world, they train more. Because I'm a baseball skill development coach, and I peeped it. Okay. They train more than they play games.
Almost like in basketball. They talk about in basketball. We practice 6 and play 1, versus here you practice 13 days and then you play 13 games and may practice.
And that's not good. And that's why you have guys who just won the MVP again in the NBA. And so you have internationals. Jokic. Right. Jokic. They are very good at training. They train, even in Japan, they train more than they play games. So when they come and play games, they are more fundamentally sound. And that's one of the things with the ball players in the urban areas, they're not fundamentally sound anymore.
Tell what you said the other day, Daryl, about the last 3 have not been American in basketball.
NBA, like I said, the last
Jokic,
Giannis, Embiid.
and Embiid. Yeah.
But like you said, but even like in baseball, you have international players that are winning MVPs and are the best players on certain teams. Like you look at the Astros, Altuve, that's their best player. Then you go to the Rangers, Garcia is their best player. So it either last night either end with an A, E, O, something like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's not they not American players. That's and right. I think or an S like Torres over there, but at the end of the day, you have where the international game has, I don't know, and I think that's my thing is for us as minority ball players, and that's what I want to get to. So in fact, Torres, we're gonna be commercial free. We're gonna ride with y'all to about 8-10. We'll acknowledge the sponsor we get through. This is good.
Well, let me say this.
Go ahead.
The MLB, they are making steps to send resources and programs to urban areas. Now we have one in Tampa called the RBI program.
I've heard of that.
Okay. And Carl Everett and Mark Whitten, hard-hitting Whitten.
Yeah.
They are
home run, yeah.
They are on that committee. So and they're doing a lot at North Seminole. Okay. And then my man Michael Gibbons, the travel ball team that I coach on, the 12U, inner city baseball of Tampa, he gives back a lot to the inner city. And Tampa is one big inner city. So it's not just about skin or complexion, but inner city consists of all of us. And when it comes to baseball, I try to stay away from the race thing, even though it's a component. It is a component, but there's a reason why we're not thriving. And I got a list of reasons why we're not thriving. But there's only one race in baseball, and that's the race to first base. You understand what I'm saying? But however, there is a problem. We should have more of a voice and a face in the game.
Dusty Baker brought that up, didn't he?
We should. That's right. We should.
Brought it up, bro.
Like I said, we got Ron Washington. I think we got one black manager now, or we got Ron Washington. That's it.
There's a reason. We don't help ourselves with this question, even though the question is legit and there is powers that be.
Well, I want you to say that again so this guy to my left can hear you. Say that again so he can hear you.
There is reasons why we don't thrive in baseball anymore. And I'm at the grassroots level, and I'm going to bring out those reasons. I'm going to bring out those reasons why, because I'm a solution guy. You know, I understand what the problem is, and there are people that are behind the scenes that we're still fighting that fight. You know what I'm saying? That fight that Jackie Robinson fought. But at the same time, we are not helping ourselves with a lot of things on things that we can control on our level.
Look at me. Look at him.
No, he's talking about personality, attitude.
It has nothing to do with
it ain't got to do. It don't. It's going to be economics.
It has more to do than economics. I mean, it's going to start. I have a list. I'm gonna go into the list, and we can have a dialogue.
Hey,
I really want to know. Listen. I've been on this for years, and I never played baseball.
But tonight is the Tampa Terminator show. We hanging with y'all. Y'all drive.
Yeah, the Tampa Terminators.
Y'all picked us up. We ride with y'all.
The Tampa Terminators. We're terminating
I would like a hat too.
Illiteracy, ignorance, and incarceration in our inner city in Tampa.
All right.
I'm a licensed barber. I've actually gone to the youth facilities, cut hair, the whole 9 yards. I partnered up with the city. We go to the Cyrus Green Center on Tuesday nights. And we teach kids the fundamentals of baseball. But you would be astonished the lack of participation that we get at Belmont Heights Little League.
That's what I want to get to.
So there's a reason why. So the resources are there, but you cannot make a kid or a parent be into baseball. There's a reason why it isn't the way it was in the 80s, in the 70s, in the early 90s. It ain't just one thing. It ain't just about race. A lot has to do with how we are as a people as it relates to baseball.
Is attention going to be one of those things? Attention span?
It has nothing to do with that.
I'm telling you what. This is something
it's just like it's just like anything. It can't be around you. It can't be on you. Baseball got to be in you. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna so you know about it. My cousin, if you go to YouTube, look up the Tim Anderson story. You have to see it. Tim, he didn't really play baseball coming up as a kid. He was a basketball player. He hurt his knees in high school. His friend asked him to try out. He tried out maybe his sophomore, his junior year in high school. His first game in high school, they DH'd him. He played in the outfield. Second year, his senior year, they moved him to second base. He hit a home run. One scout was out there. He got one scholarship offer to go to a JUCO in Mississippi. 2 years later, he's the 17th pick in the first round from the Chicago White Sox.
And that's what I was getting to.
How did that happen? He outworked everybody. Yeah. But watch this. The parents don't allow the kids to develop the skills to play baseball. Parents don't allow the kids to play outside to develop the athleticism to play baseball. Social media, phones, games are the interests of this generation. Now watch this. When we was coming up, wherever neighborhood you stayed at, they had a free lunch program at the park. That was your park. If you was from Culver City, West Tampa,
right,
you was at the Boys Club in West Tampa.
Right.
If you was from the East Side, we stayed by Ebo City, you was at the Boys Club. Flipping, tag, butts up, fumble, swimming lessons at Sowers Green, swimming lessons at Memorial Pool. We jumping off the high dive doing gainers at 10 and 11.
Right.
We were more athletic.
Right. We did
so
more.
The parents now, the kids have phones.
Yeah.
They not outside like we used to be. Throw up tackle, playing 21. Playing strikeout.
Right.
It's a different generation.
You know, do you play tetherball anymore?
We used to play that. You hit that, the ball.
The ball you get.
Foosball. We was outside. We was outside. So my cousin, because he was outside, when he committed to baseball, he was so athletic that he picked the game up quick. And he just outworked everybody.
Right.
So how did he outwork everyone? And he never played AAU coming up. He never played travel ball.
And it's funny you say that, because even like nowadays,
wow, I didn't know that, but I thought you'd
you watch kids today. Kids watching football, they watching basketball, or they have interest in track. They'll watch track. But like you sit down and to see kids watch baseball games, you know, being a Braves fan, we were trash.
We suffered.
We were
y'all
real
watched it.
sorry.
I'm talking about the early days.
Yeah,
y'all had Rorsted. Y'all had Ramirez. Y'all had Pascual Perez.
Yeah, Glenn Hubbard.
Y'all had Glenn Hubbard. Claudia Bob Horner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all had again who we have?
Bob Horner. He hit 4 home runs in one game.
Yeah.
But the average kid ain't into it like that. And we would get the New York channel, the Chicago channel.
There you go.
And the Braves channel. I watched it all. I was there.
Yeah, he know what he's talking about.
I was there. Ken Oberfeld.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but see, that's why I said
Terry Pendleton.
Right.
Lonnie Smith. Then you get to the next. Y'all start turning that corner.
Yeah.
Right? Then they got David Justice. Ron Gant.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron Hunter at first base.
Yeah.
So y'all start turning that corner. But the thing,
Nixon and center.
Come on, man.
Y'all had on the hot corner. Y'all ended up getting TP. Well, we got TP.
But that's why. But I think the thing nowadays is that the narrative with parenting is everybody think their kid is going to be the next LeBron James, the next Steph Curry, the next Patrick Mahomes, the next Tyreek Hill. Ain't nobody talking about baseball.
These kids think we do it though. Some of the kids the same thing. They say, "I want to be such and such." How you gonna get to do all the kind of things, and they don't know how to practice all the kind of stuff.
Right.
Kids the same thing. They say,
"There's no
I want to be
instant
such and such," but I'm gonna do.
That's right. There's no instant gratification in baseball
because it's a microwave society. They want it right now.
It's a process.
They want it right now.
Baseball is a process. It's gonna take a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bring up the list and talk about why they not gonna be in the process because of the economic piece. You know, I'm gonna stay I'm at number 2. There's a lack of number 2, so that was number 1.
Go ahead.
The parents don't allow the kids to develop the skills to play. We played outside more.
Yeah.
Real deal. All summer long. They had to make us.
Sometimes with no choice.
Come in the house. Yeah. You had to come in the house.
You had to drink. What she said, you making my electricity.
Go
get that water.
Keep my door closed.
Stay outside. Or you gonna stay outside. Or you had to come in all day.
And you better take a nap. Right?
Yeah.
And then you had to drink from the water hose. Right, so it was something in the water in Tampa. Right. So we run it. We outside. Our whole youth.
Or get on your bicycle, go to another neighborhood.
That's another thing.
Yeah,
the kids today collectively are not wired like that. Right. Number 2, there's a lack of organization and respect at the grassroots level.
Yeah.
There must be structure within the organization, and there should be a standard operating
I should sit right there by
procedures.
Him and just look at you the entire
SOPs.
Hey, listen. Hey, nobody's more rigid than me. I'm just trying to figure out the excuses that you would give is something that I
They're
would.
not excuses. That's the truth, though. These
Look
kids,
at man,
they don't
I'm
get
once
outside.
a Marine, always Marine.
Hey.
I did something, you know, I played at a high level as a child. You can verify whatever. You get what I'm saying? And the guys that made it, they always talk about me and talk about how I was. Man, you should have been there with me. But our stories are already written. Your life gonna go the way that he wants it to go.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm a Marine for real. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm there in it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not biased. I have friends, high places, low places, and I'm very involved in the game.
Right.
There's a lack of organization and respect at the grassroots level. There must be a structure within any little league, and there should be standard operating procedures, SOPs in place, followed from registration to the end of the season, from the beginning to the end. Most baseball programs in inner city, baseball is something they do because they into football. They can't wait to run to the football field. Most of the people that are running the baseball organizations, they are football guys. They are not baseball guys. That's what the issue is. You got to be a baseball man.
Right.
To know the inner workings of baseball, yeah.
I played football as a kid. Me and Trevor played on the same Thornton.
Okay.
Me and Trevor played. We
Cool.
played on, but football wasn't my primary sport.
Right, that wasn't
so
your
what
thing.
I look like going to any football organization and being the president or the VP of any football organization.
Or a coach.
Well, I volunteered when my son played for the Spartans.
Right.
But I'm not a football guy.
Right.
I'm a baseball guy. The problem is the football guys are at the park running baseball programs. It is what it is. They're not baseball guys.
So do you think we need more involvement from baseball guys, or how can we get them out?
Well,
We must
that's the
become
question, how
more
you get them
organized
out.
because we're not gonna come out if they don't show the respect at the grassroots level of the game. You're not gonna tell a baseball guy who went to college or who got drafted or who played in the minors or who even made the big leagues. You're not gonna tell him too much about the game. What you gonna tell him?
Yeah, that's kind of like the 707 kid with Cam. How you gonna try Cam?
you gonna tell him?
And he's been that, you know.
If Sheffield come out to the park, you gotta listen to Sheffield. You can't tell him he know the
Nothing.
game at the high. Exactly.
Nothing.
But they feel because at the grassroots level, because they've been here for a certain amount of time, but when you have a person that's there that done it at the high level, you got to
Experience is life's greatest teacher.
That's right.
Period. And that's, I don't, and you all, I didn't have the luxury or whatever. I lived all over the world. My parents are both retired Air Force.
Yes, sir.
So when I was in, and I actually work, so no sir, but I work for a living. But I was in Texas, Mississippi, Georgia, been all over the place, and you're right. But the discipline factor, which we talk about, I never was in an area or in a school where discipline wasn't the thing because who was the majority of the community? Military. So
That's right.
Those kids wasn't going to have the thing that you're talking about. We need that from the school level to the house to everywhere else because that is the one element you have to have in your system to make it anywhere in life. Because events,
right.
and everybody, but see, another thing social media has. Everybody want to be what you say can make any. What you say about social media?
Influencers.
No. What you say with social media can make what?
Make you be anybody you want to be.
There you go.
Right.
And
right. Everybody is a legend in their own mind.
Yeah.
So we must become more organized, and the leaders must have real baseball knowledge to teach the game. I always say this. This is why I say to kids, our ceiling is the kids' floor.
Right.
If my ceiling is here, and I want to teach kids, how they gonna get to the next level if I've never been to the next level?
Right.
And if I haven't been to the next level, I have to be smart enough to get my child around people who's played.
Who've been there. Right.
Professional pitching coaches, professional hitting coaches.
That's a good way to
So
look
when
at
you
it.
ask me what's the problem with
That's what
baseball,
Devin said, yeah.
that's what the issue is. They want to control baseball at the grassroots level. And they not qualified to teach these kids on that level. You got kids, you got coaches, I'm just going to say it, out there smoking in front of kids, pants hanging. But when we was coming up, there was real coaches.
Yeah, you look like manager or you look like...
I look like a coach.
but
I
even
dress
that,
like
though,
a coach. I carry myself as a coach.
But you had such a great mentor in Coach Billy Reed.
That's right.
May the Lord be pleased with him. He was a father figure to a lot of kids.
That's
and
right.
it wasn't just baseball.
That's right.
He touched and impacted a lot of people. And I think that's something that...
That's the man he was.
That's the man he was.
Right. But I think about Two Boys dad at King.
Yeah,
Henry
right.
Washington.
Same thing.
Same type dude. Coach Hub with you at
Coach
Jefferson.
Hub, yeah.
Same type dude. So nowadays, you don't really have that now.
And it's by default.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Why
right.
not?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
that way.
Right, but like you say,
He's
but
that way.
But the respect,
You that way.
But the respect, because and if you say something to a kid now and you upset him, then you got the why my baby? Like I always try to tell people.
I went through that.
Okay,
I went through that.
But I'm old school. My best player's gonna play. I ain't on that daddy ball. I don't care how much money your family give.
Do they come to practice?
They definitely gotta come to practice.
That's it.
They gotta come to practice.
They gotta come to practice. They gotta come to practice.
There's certain things that are non-negotiable when it comes to sports because it's no different than being prepared to go into a foxhole. These are experiences that everybody wouldn't have either.
That's right.
And I've been called really rigid and other things as well, but the reality is there ain't no reset button on some of this stuff.
The past is always with us. What
go.
came first is the truth. Fitzgerald said that in the story, Gatsby. You can act like you somebody different, but what would make you who you really are unless you went through what you really went through. So you can front and act like you somebody else and give yourself a new name.
Right.
But I know the truth.
Yeah.
I know who you was in the 70s.
And
I knew who you was in the 80s.
I had to start collecting.
I knew who you was in the 90s.
Preach on, man.
Okay, and so this is what we producing out here.
Right.
A bunch of kids who don't respect no type of authority. I said in the beginning, them phones.
Right.
So we got to have qualified players. Qualified players must come back and give back at the grassroots level if we are to revive baseball again in the inner city. In other words, we got to humble ourselves and say, you know what? This is the state that it's in. I'm going to work from here. That's what Carl is doing at North Seminole. That's what Mark Whitten is doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what my man Taylor Made is doing. A lot of us who played at a high level and others even higher levels, they come back to the park that they came up in. And they say, you know what, I'm going to look beyond what I see, and I'm going to do the best I can.
With what I got.
I'm going to do the best with what I got.
And that's all you can ask for.
Qualified players got to come by because kids go by what they see.
Right.
Oh, I'm such a... First thing, you need to go into the phone. Who coach is? Okay, Coach Anderson. Okay, he did get drafted. He played a little bit. Okay, I'll listen to him.
Right.
But then I got to go get another coach who was in the big leagues.
Right.
And say, okay, I got you here, but now I got to get you over here.
Right.
To take it to the next level because Little League is what it is. It's rec ball.
Right.
And you can't expect someone who paid $100 and it's just an outlet for a kid to be playing competitive. So the kids that desire to be a certain way, you have to create a bridge for them to play at a higher level. And that's what's lacking as well with our peoples. It's a money grab. It's too many coaches who feel like they should get paid for their time doing big league service. And they want to pay urban kids who can't afford it. They want to charge them an arm and a leg.
And I think that's
not right.
The most to me that's the most disturbing thing about it is that I really feel that when you coach it's thankless work to begin with.
That's right.
So when you take their spot, when the Lord calls you to do it, whatever summons you to want to coach kids, it's a lot that comes with it. But like you said, we have to be fair with what's available to us.
That's right.
So like you said, when you start coming up, 'cause I tell them all the time, like, we're around the same age. And I remember AAU, my cousin played basketball in Atlanta. It was the 12 best kids in Atlanta.
That's right.
So it wasn't like, okay, my uncle a doctor or my daddy owned these restaurants. Okay, you start a team, we start a team. The best players were on this team, and that was it.
That's right.
But see, now the narrative is, okay, you know what? We can come up, we can do a team and get our own team, and we can.
Everybody has a travel ball team now.
Right.
You got guys that I know for a fact wasn't even on my level in high school. Now all of a sudden they're a travel ball coach.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do what they were supposed to do in their youth. I ain't throwing no rocks, man. I'm just calling it the way it is. And so it's a money grab.
Preach, right.
Now they getting money. They think they somebody. Man, come on, Playboy. You come on.
I'm telling you.
You were sitting at the end of the bench. Now all of a sudden you this big time travel ball coach.
Right. And
taking these people money, giving these false promises, and you really don't have the contacts on the big league level to get these guys looked at. That's another thing. Who's really looking at these guys?
So you selling dreams.
You selling dreams. At least with this ICB.
Okay, Kevin
my man, Coach Michael Gibbons. Look him up. He just opted out of his contract with the Marlins. He is the first MLB player in the history of Tampa that was an active player giving back to the inner city. In the history of the city. I'm not throwing no rocks at nobody. I'm just calling the truth for what it is.
Okay.
So watch this. Number 4, our kids have to make a decision early which sport will be their primary of interest, because real baseball players are playing all year round. The game has caught up and passed us. That's the truth.
Yeah, and I think something
they got to decide early.
And I played baseball every year in high school, but like you said, I played football, and we had out of the 15 guys that we played that played for us, we probably had 7 guys that played football also.
That's right.
So you got a handful that, they were baseball only, but like you say, we didn't have the summer camps. We didn't have that. Right. So you played baseball in high school, and you might play, it wasn't American League, it was park ball, but it was like 14 to 16.
That's right.
And that's what it was. So when still 9th, 10th grade, you could still catch on.
And you know how strong.
What do you call it here though? Was it Pony League?
No, he said American League.
But it's different. So you had here in Tampa, it was Little League baseball, and it was Colt League, Pony baseball, Bronco, Mustang, Pony.
Yeah, I remember that.
Colt,
I remember that.
Right?
Yeah,
and you get the lead off. Those same rules is how they play travel ball. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But the American Legion was kind of like a travel ball team.
Right.
Whatever high school you went to, there was an American Legion that was in your area.
Right.
And then you played for the American League. So like post 248, they had Jefferson and Jesuit. And it's another school that's coming to my mind. But all of them played on that team. And then you had the Brandon. And then you had the Brandon Post. You had the guys from Brandon, Armwood. They was on the same team.
Yeah.
And then you had from Hillsborough. We was on the team that was like a Belma Height post team.
Okay.
And then we played at North Tampa as well. Okay. And then Lato. Everybody had their own team. So, but we played all year round. Now, if you was a top tier football player, you was playing American Legion, and you was playing football, but you was really top tier. You was top tier. Sheffield played football in high school his senior year, so he can do both.
Yeah.
So did Maurice,
and he still
and Crump can do the, but he's still gonna play. But that's the exception to the rule, brother. So a person gonna have to decide early.
Right.
What is it he's going? You know what I'm saying? So that he can keep up. Because if you put the baseball down for 30 days, you will see a dip. It's quick.
That's anything though.
You saying that, as I think about it, Oscar, who was a pitcher, he's the only football player I can think of at Jefferson that played baseball. That played with Pop.
Yeah.
You got to think. Well, Fred was 2 years before I got there, and Fred didn't play no football.
He ain't played no football, and he was all right. He got cut on his Hall of Fame speech. He talked about how Pop cut him.
Yeah.
He really wasn't that good then. So he said he had to go lift weights. He had to get in shape.
Yeah, get himself
and
right.
He got put on the map when he hit that bomb off of Dwight when they both was in high school. He cleared it off. Dwight couldn't. People in baseball, they know this story. But Fred McGriff made it because he got in the weight room.
So he hit it in high school on him?
In high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got Dwight up out of there. Hit a bomb. Okay. Legendary. And the rest is history for Fred McGriff.
Yeah.
But he got in the weight room and got serious about the game. With our people, they think you just gonna be good because you're
good, you're athletic.
And it ain't gonna work like that. You gotta work. Especially in baseball now.
Yeah.
These boys going to perfect game. These boys playing since they 6.
Yeah.
My pops brought up, your uncle brought up, he said another thing is the guys that are overseas, they don't play, not overseas, well, at one time, the guys in the foreign countries don't play on perfect fields like we do
here.
They don't.
No.
And so the ball, so they can catch any crazy hop.
They don't.
Yeah, but
they don't see no crazy hops here.
But even back to what Coach Anderson was talking about with when you start talking about travel ball, that's expensive. Let's say a family of 4. Let's say, okay, we got games in Savannah. Got to pay the travel, Got to pay to eat.
Hotels, rooms.
And then you eating breakfast, lunch, dinner. Because I have a partner by Carl Fisk, shout out Carl. His son played at Durant. And he was just saying, like, you know, when they go these trips. Yeah. Okay, look, you know, you might have Billy and Joey, they mom and daddy go to Longhorn. We can't go to Longhorn. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got Longhorn. I can't
Come on,
feed.
Man, he cutting hell. You know what I'm saying? So
we can't feed.
Right.
Everybody, and also you.
And shout out to him, his son just graduated too.
FSC,
left head he can hit.
Amar, hit the ball. But and I think that's the thing that we have to get back, and this is just something that I really struggle with. When you see Palmacia, North Brandon, the support's a little different. I think that's something that I struggle with, that we do not support.
We don't.
And get behind.
We don't. Because like I said before, there's a lack of organization and respect at the grassroots level. You can't expect a person that come from an inner city situation and they do what they supposed to do. They go to the service, they go to college, and they claw and scratch to bring themselves up on the shoulders of their parents and their grandparents. You can't expect for them to just keep coming from Wesley Chapel and Riverview to go to a league where there's no organization.
Nor respect.
Nor the respect.
Right.
I'm talking about
especially when you come from that at home.
Come on, Doc.
Come on, man. When you come over there at home, like you're saying here, we finna go out here with these hooligans.
Come on. And one of the biggest misconceptions, and I'm going to say it, one of the biggest misconceptions at Belmont Heights Little League back in our heyday, one of the biggest misconceptions is that the players that was top tier, they thought they came from, the majority came from the projects that was on the all-star teams, and that's not true. Most of them came from two-parent homes. I'm not knocking those who come from single-family homes.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if we're going to revive this thing, there must be a foundation, there must be structure. Those guys came from Northview Hills. Those guys came from Jackson Heights. Those guys came from 34th. Those came where I lived in the E-Boy area, off of 22nd, off of, you know what I'm saying, around in those enclaves, and off of Lake, in those neighborhoods. Those guys that was on the all-star team, the majority of them came from a place of structure.
Right.
So what happened was, when the 80s passed, we lost all that when the Grovers and the male guy, Coach Skin back in the day, Coach Skin, who was the mailman, and Billy Reed, and all those guys started getting older. We lost that.
Nobody took the baton.
The baton was passed.
Hey, like I said, hey, listen, we dropped the ball, kicked that joke over the fence and into the alligator pond.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And then, you know, and a lot of factors play into that plagued our community, you know, the crack cocaine epidemic. Yeah. That has hurt us from top
all the way
to
down.
bottom. Yeah. So when people come back to give back, and I've seen it, they came back to give back guys, top tier guys, the Ty Griffins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we are seen as, you know, somebody that's a threat to how it is now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a level of professionalism that those guys had, those coaches, Chris Wilson father.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Those forefathers, they carried themselves with respect. They wasn't at that park being a certain type of way. They was men that you can look up to. But it's just a reflection of society. So I'm not singling out nobody.
No.
I'm just saying it's just part of what we're dealing with now.
Just like me, you know, as a soldier, whether it's always going to be somewhere around you. There's a time and a place for everything, right?
That's right.
So when you walk into any arena, any field, what have you, from the moment you cross that threshold, that's what you're supposed to be.
You got to be professional.
You got to be.
And they kept it away from the field. They kept it away from the babies.
We're all human, but you know,
but I think something else too is that younger children don't identify with history well.
No, they don't.
That's something like you said, when you call out, you could sit back and do a roll call.
That's right.
Of athletes that have come from Belmont Heights.
That's right.
And went on to play baseball.
That's right.
So when you take younger kids, they don't really. I don't want to say don't care, because I think that comes across.
Well, it has to be taught. That was taught to me. I observed a lot, but that was taught to me. Coach Reed used to talk to us about that, because Coach Reed was also like one of the coaches that would pick the All-Star team, even though he was one of the founders of Belmont Heights Little League. So we're just talking about the urban situation.
Right.
that your history got to be taught. It ain't innate. You ain't just gonna know because you come into existence. So if you're not talking about it, but then you have a whole generation that don't know. And
he's an educated man that people, just not, just the fact that he's where he was would signify it. I tell him the thing I didn't appreciate, and I love Coach Hub and Coach Nelson, Coach Mack, Coach Dawson.
That's right.
And Coach Al Barnes.
That's right.
They were all on my staff at Jefferson.
That's right.
And you think about it, I wouldn't, I'm not militant, but I didn't even think about that. But when you talk to Trigg, he'll tell you what, look at all the great black educators I had right there at Jefferson.
You did.
On my staff.
You did. And the history of that is that's a history that comes with that. Most of those guys are they parents from Blake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the guys that was on the east side, they parents from Middleton.
Right.
And a lot of them went on to school.
And they all went on to school. One group went to Bethune, the people from Blake, West Tampa,
in Middleton,
in Carver City.
Right.
They are
or
the alumni
FAMU.
But most of them are
Cookman
alumni.
Right.
On the east side, most of them are FAMU alumni.
Right.
This goes way back, bro.
Right.
All the way back
50
when
years
the
ago.
riots in Tampa and the kid was shot in Central Park.
Right.
And the city riot, and the community leaders came together back in the day, and they asked them, what do we have to do to stop this? And they gave the East Side Belma Hype Little League in 1968, and they gave the Yellow Jackets to West Tampa in 1968.
And
the Yellow Jackets,
they still an organization.
The Blake, that's another conversation.
Not Blake.
But what I'm saying, the Little League Yellow Jackets, they took on the moniker of Blake High School, the same colors.
Right.
And Belma High is burgundy and gold. Right. They took on the colors of Middleton. Right. This goes way back.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So the DNA markers are there. Like when you were talking about the gentleman at Jefferson, they was there.
Right.
I also had Rudolph Harris.
There you go.
See?
But what happened was, for some reason, our people, and that's just not us, it's all across the board. In the society that we live in now, people just don't honor and respect those who have preceded them.
Right.
And it's from top to bottom.
And I think something else too that's sad is that Chris Rock said something on the show about 30 years ago, and he said, you could go to school, have 2-3 degrees, but you're going to get less respect than that dude done did 8-9 years in the penitentiary.
There you go.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and I know like growing up, because you saw Tampa evolve. Like,
that's right.
You saw Tampa grow. Then when you came back, you saw it was different. But like, we had Not Jenkins on here earlier this month.
That's
and we talk about how drugs really changed.
It really did.
I mean, it really changed. And
that's why I'm not going to put it all on, like, because honestly, people do what they know and they do the best they can.
Right.
So you can't, I can't point the finger, but it's deep. This even with what we see in the city, all around the country, gentrification, the whole thing. Right. It seems like to me, it is a plan that has been put in place, even from your day with the interstates going in all the inner cities. All from the East Coast to West Coast.
And the reason that they were put there, whether it had to do with devaluing land or what have you.
Right.
And then they come back and look what it's worth now.
Right. Yeah. So that's my point. So when we're going to look past all of that and just focus on the youth, that's where I'm at with it. I understand history. I understand I'm not all knowing. I'm not God. But what I'm saying is I understand what has happened and I understand what is going on. And there are certain things that I can't control. We can't control. Right. But what I can control is my son doing something every day to go forth in his dream of becoming a baseball player. He can go outside every day and take 75 cuts from the left side, 75 cuts from the right side. He can go out there and hit the tee. I don't see that with our people. They don't want to hit off that tee. They don't want a long toss. They just want to play football. Why is that? They just, you ain't finna be no 6'6", you ain't finna be 6'7".
But I think the thing with football is that, just like you said, the instant gratification, like you could have a skill running, catch or whatever. But baseball, you really got to put the work in.
You got to put that work in. Man, you got to put that work.
It's a lot of work that you got to put into.
It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
Good baseball players are probably the kind of people that can sit through a good sermon. You don't have a lot of them anymore because, we had 2 and 3 hour sermon. I'm not even being funny. You think, even when it comes to what I do with guys, it's the attention span. I never thought about it because
I don't play in the outfield. And we don't got 7, 8 runs scoring, and you just out there. Right? Please, let's get the 3 outs. Like, man, we ain't gonna never get out of here. So I mean, I get it, but like you said, it's everybody. It's a different kind of mind to play baseball.
It really, you got to be born that way.
You got to have it in you.
It got to be in you. It got to
want to play baseball.
That's right.
Because it's never, especially out here in the South, it's never cool. It's always gonna be warm. So football kind of cool off say October. But when you start playing baseball, and I know we started practicing say February. So from February through May, it's hot.
You know what we used to say when we was coming up in Tampa, those of us who really was into baseball, it was from Sunday to Sunday.
Okay.
So when everybody went after the season was over, and they went to the Eagles, they went to the Spartans, they went to the Rams, they went to Skyway, we were still at the park playing baseball.
Okay.
All summer long. We'll get our free lunch, we'll hop the fence, and still be playing baseball.
Yeah,
playing in the fall. So when the spring come around, here they come from the football field, and it is what it is. They football players primarily. But we was always a little bit better than those who didn't play baseball all year round. And then what happens is when they get on the big field at 13, they are intimidated. And at 14, they done. That's when you really start getting better because the field is bigger. And now you lifting. Now it's a chance. Can I hit it in the graveyard? Can I hit a home run dead center? Can I hit it to right field? Then once you conquer that, then you get in high school, the fields are bigger.
Right.
So most of our kids, they get intimidated. The base paths are longer.
Right.
The pitching is further.
So let me ask you, what got you as a youth into baseball? What got you into that?
Man, so when we moved to Tampa in 1977.
Okay.
We moved from up north.
Okay.
My father was a military guy.
Okay.
We moved to Tampa in 1977.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was 77 or 78, but I remember the first year I played at Belmont Heights was in 78. But one of those years, they had the major team, I think it was the team, one of those teams went to the Little League World Series.
Okay.
They came, we stayed on 22nd Street.
Okay.
They was coming down the street in the Army fatigue. And I was like, where they going? And it was like, Belmont Heights. So a little bit after that, my man Keith Hopkins, his auntie stayed in our neighborhood.
Okay.
And we was playing strikeout on the wall.
Okay.
And I said, where you going? He said, I play baseball. I said, I want to play. He said, well, you could come. I said, well, I can't play because, my parents in church.
Yeah.
Back in church and hard. Boy, baseball is of the devil. Jesus coming back today. You better get ready. Get your house there. They ain't, it is what it is. And, I thank God for them because they gave me that spirituality and it keeps me grounded to this day.
Respect.
I keep the main thing.
Respect.
However, they just was not with no sports. They went to church more than everybody, and they was in church all day Sunday. Okay. So I was scared to ask my mama.
Okay.
I said, well, can you ask? He said, yeah, I'll go ask her. He said, what's your mama name? I said, Miss Anderson.
Okay.
And he went in there, he said, Miss Anderson, can your son, I'll take him to the park, I'll bring him back. And
shout out to Keith Hopkins, man. That's all right, man. That's all right.
And I jumped off the project porch. We stayed on 22nd College Hill.
Okay.
And we took me over there. And from the day I got up there, man, I just loved it.
You loved it.
It was already in me.
Right.
And when I got up there, I saw how organized they was.
Yeah.
I was in the minors. Back in the minors, we had jeans. You had to wear blue jeans.
Yeah, I remember. I saw they had something in the center with Miss Ann.
That was my coach. That was my coach. We had blue jeans. We had white jeans on Saturday and blue jeans during the week. And we had the burgundy shirt. It said Astros and Colonial Cleaners on the back. I played for Miss Ann for about 2-3 years.
Okay.
Then when you go to the majors, you got like a real professional uniform, like a pinstripe button-up.
Yeah.
And you just took pride.
And I think some of us too, there's a lot of black businesses supported.
They did.
So you had the sponsor on the back of the jersey.
Wilson
and I thought I'll tell you something. Listen.
Florida Sentinel,
playing at Bid Hill was like when I saw a kid, 89 with the. I'm like, yeah,
man, it was real big.
We didn't have sponsors.
It was a real big deal.
You played at the park, and that was just everybody had to say like it was like 7 the Braves, the Reds, Dodgers.
It was a real big
deal. We had the Tigers, Yankees, but everybody had basically like the same like style. So it was, it that stuck out. You know what I mean?
These men laid it out so masterfully. They had 8 teams in the minors.
Okay.
And the minors was from like 7 years old to like 9.
Okay.
They had 8 teams in the minors, 6 teams in the majors. 6.
Okay.
Senior American was just 13-year-olds. You had 4 teams in the Senior American.
Okay.
And 14 and 15
participation, man.
had 4 teams. When that crack hit, we still haven't recovered, brother.
Right.
We have not recovered. So when we ask what I'm putting out, what we have to do, but we still have to keep in mind, this stuff ain't been 100 years ago. It's
Not
still fresh.
Yeah.
I'm coaching kids whose parents were born in 87.
Yeah.
88.
In the crack era.
And they were crack babies.
Right.
I know their
Right.
parents.
Right.
And so the kid, I'm just being real, the kid, half of them got ADHD.
See, that was what I was getting to when it came to attention. One thing about our community, no matter where you live, if you go to church, even if you didn't want to pay attention, you wasn't allowed to be. I ain't got to tell you, you better not be fidgeting.
Oh yeah, it was. That's why when I went to the military, it wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard at all.
I felt it was like, okay, wow, this what I was already doing.
You already been doing this.
I had to make my bed up in the morning. It was yes sir, no sir. I had to. When a man came in the room, I had to stand up. And my dad taught me all this.
Right.
So I was already wired a certain way. So I took to it. I took right to it, picked up rank, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And growing up in church, you would have to talk about what he preached about. And then you went to Sunday school. And you had to stand up before service.
Don't bring up that R word, too, because you had to do that every year.
Yeah, man.
You had to go to that revival.
You had to go to revival. So my dad, he was a revival style preacher. So he's like, no, we bringing the church on the streets.
So you out there with him.
I'm out there sitting there playing drum. They calling me church boy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was a ball player. So it was just like, I got a pass. Hey boy, that church boy cool, but he can hit, boy, he can throw hard, And I was just always myself, and I never ran from that. Like some church kids.
You embraced it.
I embraced it. I really did. I was like, okay, so what? Y'all go to church, but you ain't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't churching hard as us.
Right.
But we did the Sunday school thing. So that level of
my grandma, my maternal girl, they were church. So we had a revival. We was in the country, so it was a little different. So every night,
right? They ain't playing
at all.
And you gonna be there. They gonna be hitting them bongo drums.
Yeah, I would laugh when Lisa said, "Man, I did Monday and Tuesday." I got to call my aunt. I said, "Man, come get me.
You want to go somewhere?
Ain't gonna work. Yeah, this ain't gonna work."
And then back in them days, and they had, I know this kind of off topic, but it all ties in. They had no temperance, so they would have us in church to 10 at night. And they saying you better go to school in the morning and make good grades.
Yeah, because church, however long they want to go,
that's what it was. And they say you can't quench the spirit. Not in here. You better not come. And then everybody testify.
Yeah.
If you're saying no testify, if you testify, don't sing. So I'm going to church and I'm coming from the game. Yeah. And they still in church. I'm getting the game over 8:39. They just getting started. My dad just getting up. Preaching. So we ain't getting out there till 11. And this was my
school night.
This was my entire youth.
High school.
I was raised in church.
Yeah.
But the baseball just gave me an outlet.
That was your outlet.
That was my outlet.
That was your getaway.
That was my getaway. And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't about race with me.
So let me ask you, with the church, when you went to your dad about playing baseball, was that like how'd that conversation go?
That's what he would say. May he rest in peace, man. Bishop would tell me, he say, you can play baseball, but there's only 2 rules. You got to keep your grades up, and they better not be asking me about letting you play on Sunday. Sunday is the Lord's day. So I would get my man, listen, real story, man. I would get my man Paul Russo and Ronnie Brown.
Oh, Paul Russo with the Robinson Russo.
We was tight, man. I'll get Paul Russo now, and I'll say, man, can you ask my daddy, man? He's like, man, your daddy mean, boy. I don't know. But Ronnie, my man Ronnie Brown went to Jesuit. Ronnie Reverend Anderson, we really need him for the team. We really need him. We need this one. I played another little league.
Okay.
And he was just like, I'll let him go this Sunday. And then I'll be leading. He said, come in here. He said, don't you ever bring them in here asking me, can you play ball again? Oh. So it was just always
a struggle.
But then when I got to high school, and he saw when I would have little write-ups in the papers, and he was like, boy, you're really good. He was like, I'm going to let you play. But I always knew he was gonna stop me from signing because my father was a stickler.
So you already knew that, like, okay.
Yeah, my father was really into education, doc.
And I respect that, but like I said, but you already knew if I get drafted,
he was gonna do something to block it. He gonna do something.
Well, one thing is,
he blocked
in Pop's defense, I didn't know him, but may the Lord be pleased with him. The numbers ain't the same today because now numbers are insane.
But I gotta ask her. This is funny.
You have something to fall back on.
Are you at school when you get drafted, or are you home? Because I know it's a call that come in, right?
So let me tell you what happened. Yeah, you either get a call, but if you like a middle or late round pick, you get a mailgram. So they sent me the mailgram and said that the agent was gonna come to the house to sign me. So while I was off playing my American Legion game, Coach Reed had already got my agent and everything. So my agent, took me to my baseball game. Okay. And when I got home, my mom was like, he done messed it up for you. So he actually chased the scout away. And that's what happened to me. Wow. But my father, he apologized to it later on in life. He just didn't know. All he knew was he marched with Dr. King.
Yeah.
He was from Alabama.
Right.
He came to Tampa. He made good. Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we originally
Dreamland.
from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. Barbecue, yes sir.
And he worked he was one of the few African Americans that worked in the state building downtown. He was a social worker.
Right.
And he just didn't believe, and he was, and he felt a certain kind of way. He felt like he watched Hank Aaron and he watched Bobby
from
Bonds.
Mobile.
He knew the
Ralph
story,
Dobie.
and he was like, "They're not going to do my son.
Larry Dobie.
Right? They're not going to do my son like that."
Yeah.
But he didn't know that was my dream. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I think something else too is that I know for me, I had a hard time communicating with my dad growing up.
Okay, so right.
you can say certain things, but it's like, okay, well, man, I don't know, he ain't finna go for this. So I'm like, man, I can't even. I just gotta, I gotta keep this in.
Yeah,
so
my father, not my mother. My mother was sweet, but my dad was ultra strict.
Yeah, they had rules. I mean, I had one of them families like, Mama, can I go do this? Ask your dad if. Don't worry about it.
That's how it was with me.
Don't even worry about it. I'm good. I ain't even.
Nah, she said, go ahead. I said, nah,
I'm good. Don't even worry. I just hear about it.
Most of our families in our community had a unique balance. Because, you think about it, I was raised around a lot of military people. And there was always that one parent that was kind of, and that other parent, nope.
And when I think about it, the neighborhood, we was hood rich. So we was one of those families that had a house, but the project was across the street.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And we.
So you always had, like I said, you always had.
We did.
We got to a certain point.
We had school clothes. And but you sit back and think, though, growing up in that time, though, in the 80s, it was a lot of poor people, but they didn't know they were poor because everybody around you
was on the same economic level.
On the same economic scale.
You didn't know. You didn't know. But to his defense, my parents were good parents. Because now that I look back on it, and I look at, a lot of my peers, a lot of them, got caught up in that whole motion, But with the baseball piece, I want to say this. Number 5, resources. Baseball is expensive.
Absolutely. That's what I want to get into.
Personal hitting and pitching coaches costs. Travel ball fees costs. Access to hitting facilities costs. But I will say this, but we have money for everything else. But baseball isn't a priority to us
That's
because it's no instant gratification with the process
they
of
want it right
becoming
now.
a great
Baseball
player.
Right.
It takes a while.
Give me number 5 again. I know you ain't military. Jarhead, give me number 5 again.
Resources.
No, but keep on going. He's gonna say something.
Baseball is expensive.
Right.
Personal hitting and pitching coaches cost.
Got that part too.
Travel ball fees cost.
Definitely heard
Access
that. Wow.
to hitting facility cost.
Wow.
But we have money
Right there.
for everything
Right there.
else. But baseball
Right there.
isn't a priority
Right
to
there.
us because
Right there.
it's no instant gratification with the process of becoming a great baseball
We
player.
got it for every.
Let me get your hype man together, brother Jay.
Wow.
I'm well aware.
They ain't heard
so
you.
this ain't nothing.
Hey, shut up.
This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing.
We have money for. Look at me. Look at. We have money.
Hey, put it on his face
for
now.
everything else.
They ain't hear what he said.
Louis, Gucci, belts.
They can't
You
hear you.
understand me?
But I think
Jordans.
They ain't listening.
Weaves.
They say that other
We
W word.
even got
What-
money
what's
for
it?
Beijing beers.
What's
We
that
got
other
money
W?
for
I
everything.
thought he was gonna say it. Now say it. He said we. You see?
Yes, sir.
But you got money for it. Like you
We
said,
even got money for marijuana cards.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
We got money for the whole inner
up
city
now.
experience.
Hey, got an
But
organ player around here?
baseball isn't a priority to us because
Right there.
it's no instant gratification. You're not going to be good in the span of 3 years. You're going to have to line them knuckles up. You're going to have to hit off that tee. You're going to have to learn how to load. You're going to have to learn how to separate. You're going to have to learn to see the ball and be quick. You're going to have to learn how to slow to it, long through it.
Right.
All this stuff is advanced hitting. It don't happen overnight. And then the speed of the game is faster than it was when we was coming in.
Absolutely.
Them boys throwing
Absolutely.
80 miles an hour from 46 feet almost.
Yeah.
So it's a kid get up there, he ain't successful. He gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and go play football again.
Yeah.
You know, cause it don't take a lot.
Because football is easier to master. It's easier to master. Like I say, with football, like you say with baseball, you talk about
We the fastest.
your swing.
We got the hands. A lot of stuff natural.
Right.
But with that baseball,
No, that's work.
That's work. It's gonna
That's
take
work.
even if you got
That's
the
work.
tools.
Yeah.
It's work.
Like you say, hitting off that tee, and then also some people don't process being able to field.
That's it.
That's something like, and that's something that I always took pride in playing center field, to watch the ball and go get it.
That's right.
Because when you see it, like a lot of times you may think, okay, I'm finna go up. Oh, wait a minute. Just like a safety in football.
Take a
Okay, I'm
bad
finna go make
angle.
a play. Oh, damn, the ball, wait, who behind me? Ain't nobody. That's a touchdown. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to see the field and then go get the ball. And I think for me in baseball, offense was last. I always wanted, okay, if a ground ball come, and I always played offense, if a ball comes single, I got to keep the ball in front of me. I can't let the ball get behind me.
That's right.
I got to go to the ball. I got to cover my left field. I got to cover my right fielder, because if they can't get it, then it's on me.
That's right.
So you can't watch, I think he ain't got it. He done failed.
That's right.
So I got to run all the way over there and get the ball.
That's right.
To prevent the man coming home. So I think that was always my thing. Hitting the ball came a little later, but by the time I was 9, 10 years old,
And y'all got some great ball players out of Georgia.
but like I said, but I'll tell you something that was sad, like I used to tell him. Growing up in the inner city of Atlanta, baseball was not a chosen sport.
Right.
It was football. It was just season with football, then basketball.
Right.
I tell my brother, the only reason I played football because that's what the girls like. And girls won't come to baseball game, it was too hot. Because we played at 4:30 right after school. Like, I ain't coming out there. It's too hot.
This is true.
So, but football be a little darker, the weather done came down, so that's where everybody was at. But like, I didn't have good girl, like, okay, well, what time y'all play the bar? Like, oh, that's too hot. I ain't coming out there.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Call me when you get home. Okay.
Well, one thing about the Little League we played at back in the day that drew the people from the neighborhood, it was a family thing.
Right.
Like when we played cup ball, they made us clean up the park. They made us pick up the trash.
Right.
We wanted to be the next one.
Right.
Because when we would show up at the park on the east side, it was a family.
But also with
event.
that, Brother Jay, that's what you love. So that was something different. When you love it,
Right.
you put all you can into it.
That's right.
And I think a lot of times that kids, they don't handle adversity well to begin with.
This is true.
So when you losing, I don't want to do this no more. If you strike out 2-3 times in the game,
right?
Because you might not give it 2 or 3 times to get up to hit.
That's right.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So now the competition. See, to me, the scale. So like you said, when you got the football guys that play. They play football, so baseball is just something to just keep them.
And see, and this is
going.
what I've heard from the guys we mentioned earlier, and this is what they tell me. They like, like Sheffield. He likes my son because Chico loves it, and so one of the things he say to me is, Jamie, man, they gotta love it. They don't love it like we did,
right?
And that's what the problem is. That's one of the problems. The majority of the kids, they don't really have a love.
And then also, like you said, when you were growing up, you would have 15 to 20 guys out playing baseball at the park. Because you had a park where you can go play, which is huge.
Right.
So you sit back there, nowadays, these communities, they don't
even build baseball.
They don't even build. They build pools, basketball courts, tennis courts, ain't no baseball field.
That's not interesting. Even in the military, I'm thinking about it, the military installations had a park in the military housing. You always had parks. Right. I never thought about that.
But that kept you in shape, kept you going. But like you said, nowadays, they don't build fields like unless you're at a park in a community. They don't have like you get these new subdivisions. They don't have.
I think MLB. Just my personal observation. I feel like MLB, and I don't know the politics or the logistics of it all, why they do what they do. So I love the sport and I respect the sport, but it's just something that I notice. They build facilities in those countries, but why they don't pour that into the inner city? I think if you get those kids, and you already know. Yeah. But I'm a solution guy. I'm not the type of person that points the finger. And I don't feel like I have the right to tell an organization what to do with their money. I'm a military guy, so I know it's bigger than us.
Protocol got to be followed.
Right, in the chain of command.
Exactly.
But I feel with the RBI program, with the Rays, I feel like they are doing things to help out and to assist. But I'm saying MLB as a whole, they're doing more things with Perfect Game. I see it on the MLB channel with African Americans. They're getting these guys legitimate shots. But I'm saying at the grassroots level, I don't see enough of it.
But also with that baseball,
back to what he was saying though, Daryl, even when we can't. Okay, I'm sure the three of us had a glove, even because I had a baseball glove in the back growing up, and I wasn't really a baseball guy.
Right.
But you could do like y'all were talking about the pickup base. The same way they play pickup basketball, we play pickup baseball.
Yeah, we play that, but I think some nowadays kids, you got to have somebody to play baseball with. Even just throwing the ball back and forth, you got to have somebody to do that with you.
I never thought about it.
The kids that we coach, we've had them since 6-7 years old, and we have a bunch of them.
How old are they now?
Most of them are 12 and 11.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they play on the Michael Givens.
What did Chico play?
He plays shortstop and he pitched. But Chico real deal can play any position on the field, and he switch hits.
Now let me ask you, I would love to get him on here.
How does he throw?
Kick it with him.
Chico he's right at 5 feet tall. He probably weigh 84 pounds. And he throw in the low 60s. He throw gas.
Is he left-handed?
No, he bat left and right.
Okay.
Right.
Is he nervous?
Not at
all. When you're out there watching him?
No.
Okay.
No, he's not.
He doesn't think about you. He's focused.
Yeah, he want to win, and he's an impact player.
Okay.
Like he can bunt, he can hit for power, he can hit in the gaps, he still bases, he can catch. Any which you ask him, he's a baseball player.
5'2", okay.
And you all teach, one thing about baseball, I'm sure y'all teach like moving batters over,
all that,
runners over,
runners, all that. We teach all that on the travel ball team.
You said something, but I tell him.
We teach all that.
If you remember the St. Louis Cardinals in the 80s?
Yeah. I can tell you.
Vince Coleman,
left field.
Tommy Herr,
second base.
Willie McGee,
center field.
And Jack Clark was fourth.
First base.
Trust me.
Terry Pendleton at third. Ozzie Smith at short.
When they play in them Braves, it's 2-0 before Jack Clark get up the bat. Everybody up there. You talk about a stolen base. Vince get walked.
That's it.
He gonna get second.
He at third base.
Right. Her gonna move him over.
That's right. At third.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that drove me crazy. Like they playing small, but they playing the right way.
That's how we teach.
Small ball.
Right.
And
they playing the right way.
That's how we teach. But then we can have something that I experienced this year. So we'll have 5 core players, but the other 4 are just kids that we had to draft that came to the park.
Okay. All right.
They're not knowledgeable about the game, and they're just kind of...
They just out there.
I don't want to say they're just out there, but they don't love it.
Right.
And they're just waiting for football to come around.
Okay.
So when you... baseball is the total team sport.
Yeah.
So when you have other guys that not interested in the knowledge of the game, it drains the ones who really want to be baseball players.
Yeah,
and this is why you have to have... This is why Little League has to have travel ball, because if you don't have travel ball, the players who's not playing no other sports, they get caught up in rec ball and they don't have a future, because the rec ball don't view baseball serious like they used to.
It's like it's kind of like Cinderella. Like that's football and basketball take up so much.
That's right.
And they generate so much. Like you say, they have gyms now. There's a gym in Tavares, the big house. They may have 100 teams in there. That's crazy. Now I know, like in Georgia, they really baseball is big in Georgia. Like
Yes,
they got do the perfect game. They do that in Atlanta, which is real big. Marietta, and they may have anywhere from 150, 200 teams over the summer that's playing. And I just piggyback what you were saying, like when you have 40, 50 kids in an organization, let's say, okay, we got 15. You want to take your best players up here to get it to compete.
That's right.
And I think that's where, like you said, when you get the 2 sport athletes, man, I don't know if I want to go. You know, it's like, man, football my thing. Do I really want to? You know, and that's a struggle. So, like you said, we got to get these kids at 6, 7.
You got to get them when they're young.
Let's stay on this baseball. Let's stay on baseball.
And then, you know, baseball has a legitimate pension, and baseball players make way more.
And it's less wear and tear on your body.
Less wear and tear.
If I could go back in time in 1985 as a sophomore, as a freshman in high school, I'm playing baseball. I'm gonna stick with it.
That's when I made my decision.
I'm gonna definitely try.
I'm still with it.
Yeah, I said I'm not playing football.
But I told you, I tell this story. I went to a pep rally in my 9th grade year, and they called this dude named Anthony Arnold. He no longer with us, and they called his name. Them girls went crazy. And I looked, and I told Clarence Jones, my whole body, I said, man,
it's over now.
I'm playing football. If they screaming for him like that, just imagine what they gonna do for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what triggered me. But it wasn't about, okay, I love the game. Like I could watch football, but I really enjoyed baseball. So I was one of them kids, like you said, Atlanta with cable. I would love when we had them 10-game road trips. We in L.A., San Fran, San Diego, because I know late night I can catch games. We're going to catch the Dade. We'll catch the Padre had them old ugly brown uniforms. And then the Giants would get fresh with that orange, the orange jersey with the white. And that was, I used to like watching that. But we were bad. Like early, we won 82, 83, we won the pennant. I mean, won our division. But from 84 to 89, we were terrible. We would lose like 100 games every year.
Wow.
And that's why I say I just think, you know, it's a keep doing what y'all doing, man, because I mean anything that we can do as far as when you put stuff out, we'll share and get it out there, because y'all doing a great deed.
Yes, sir.
You got kids right now. Like we talk about the kids with us. They never play.
Right.
When you look them now, it's completely different. Well, they practice all season.
Right.
These kids have never played.
Right.
When you look at them now, people be like, how?
How they get so
you got
good?
Kids with us.
Right.
We practice them over and over and over.
Right.
And not only that, we teach them all the things we tell them.
Right.
It's not okay. If you don't want baseball, there's so many things you could do.
Right.
But why is baseball? These are the things they learn before they never know it again.
But that's something. Y'all pour it in there. Like I say, y'all making a difference.
And we ask other kids to come, but sometimes they come and they go.
And then you sit back and think, you got kids that don't have men in their homes.
That's right.
So when they see y'all as a positive male figure,
that's right,
they gravitate to that. I tell kids all the time, it's like we're products of what we see.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And that's just like you said, the simplicity of it is, if you don't have a positive male around you that you see, whether it's a teacher, uncle, pastor, somebody that you can identify with,
you're gonna get caught up.
You're gonna get caught up.
Yeah.
You're gonna get caught up.
And it has to be somebody that you actually respect too. That you're gonna.
That's right.
But it's someone that. But you got to be someone that commands respect also.
But it's not only that. Like you say, even the family, when they watch how we do, that's what them kids. you can take our kids with us. We can take you anywhere because they watch. Kids will watch you. Like kids
Right,
watch
they will.
the family too.
Yeah.
Father, they say, you know what? I like what they're doing. My kids never act like that. Now they changed completely.
We've changed a lot of lives.
Just
We've
talk.
changed
That's
a lot
good
of
stuff,
lives.
man. That's good
We
stuff.
changed a lot of lives.
That's good stuff.
I want to leave something with the youth that will look at this later. The last thing you think is the first thing you do. If your last thought was negative, the first thing you will do will be negative. If your last thought is positive, your next action will be positive. Positive energy brings positive results. You know, my father taught me this. It's two things you have no choice over in life as a child: who your parents are and where you live at. But you have to bloom where you plant it. You have to bloom where you plant it.
Torres, put / motivational speaker by James Anderson.
Yeah.
/ put that / on there, bro. Like I said, you drop
That's
some
in
jewels
him
today,
too.
man.
That's in you too.
Whoever, and I do travel the country and do motivational speaking. I was
Okay.
up in Washington, D.C. The beginning of last year, and I spoke to the youth up there. Whoever can get it is the one who deserves it. Whoever can get it is the one who
I tell
deserves
Kobe
it.
all the time, you can have anything in
Be a
this world.
go-getter. You got to be a
Yeah, but
go-getter.
you gotta work for it.
You got to work
You gotta
for
work
it.
for it.
And so one of the problems with the lack of participation is that our people just see the barriers.
Right.
That we've had more barriers back then
Right.
Man.
in the 70s.
Man.
But those men, when we had
Broke
a
'em
high
down.
level of African Americans playing in the 70s, 80s, and 60s, they had no choice.
Right.
They had to do it,
Right.
or they weren't going to make it in the world.
Right.
The problem with the youth today, us parents give our kids too many options.
Without a whole lot of expectation.
But there's
I
also
got-
a lack of accountability also. Go ahead.
Unrealistic expectations and blame is what destroys our youth. But you have to have PA plus E equals P. PA plus E equals P. You have so much God-given talent, and you really can't control that. You can control your effort and your attitude. Positive attitude plus effort equals your performance. If you control your attitude and if you control your effort, your performance will improve. That goes for everybody in this room.
That's real. That's real.
We have to find solutions. There will always be problems in every era of humanity.
You're right.
Whether it's the Babylonians, whether it's the Persians, whether it's the Greeks, whether it's the Romans, whether it's the Egyptians, the Nile Valley civilization, in whatever in the days of Noah, in the times of the deluge, and the days of antiquity. Whatever race was on the planet, there was always problems. That is just the plight of human beings.
Right.
We have to always look for solutions. Every day I wake up, I say, what can I do
What have I?
to positively impact my family, my community, and ultimately my nation? The blame starts with me.
Make a
What can
difference.
I do different?
Right. You gotta
I'm
make a
not
difference.
blaming nobody for my life. And so this generation of kids that are playing baseball, they need to be coached hard.
Your alumni, John Robinson, said Miss Dawson will be proud of you.
She'll be proud of me. I gave that lady a hard time. Yes, sir.
That Hill girl?
Yes, sir. She was our English teacher. But I love her. I know the truth.
But she pushed you.
She pushed me. You know, a lot of times.
She saw something in you.
And I'm gonna say,
What's her name?
my name James Anderson.
No, not her. What's her?
That's John
Miss
Robinson. He
John
grew up.
Dawson?
Her last name was Dawson.
Yeah,
taught her Hill girl.
Dawson?
No, Dawson. Like
Miss
your last name.
Miss
Okay.
Dawson. She was our English teacher. You know, this is another thing about kids. We should always have compassion on kids because we all come from diverse backgrounds.
Right.
For me, my family was so strict that when I would get to school, I would kind of act out because I couldn't have fun at home.
Right.
So that didn't make me a bad kid.
Oh yeah.
So we have to be patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lucy, you have to have roast sections.
Man. That's all we did was crack jokes because I couldn't crack them at the house. You going to hell for telling jokes? That's vein jangling. But these kids are our babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have to be patient with them.
Yes.
They're going to make mistakes. They are even more influenced more than we was.
Right. Yeah.
But if we don't care about the children, what kind of world we gonna live in?
Right.
And that's why I'm Coach Anderson. I give them all a chance, but I'm gonna coach them hard. And I'm gonna tell them the truth. You're just not no good, brother.
Yes, sir.
You're not good. You need to go home and practice.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I got to get my horses ready.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do it take for me to be a horse coach? I said, maybe you got to eat some oats or some oatmeal or some Cheerios, but you got to get better.
Right.
We don't baby. We're not gonna baby you.
And you can't
Nobody
battle.
feels sorry for you because you struck out 3 times.
Right.
Go do. You did something wrong. I'm looking at it. You're not hitting off the tee. You're not hitting in front of the ball.
Right.
So, I'm glad you guys brought me out. But if I can say
we're gonna
anything,
bring you back. Yeah, we're gonna bring you
me back, dog.
Yeah, we'll bring you back.
And that's all I got is just positive energy.
Well, any shout outs you want to give, we're gonna recognize those that keep the lights on.
Yes, sir.
And then we're gonna do rapid fire. So any shout outs
sir.
y'all want to give, go
Yes,
ahead, feel
sir.
free.
I'm a person that don't speak too much, but sometimes my strokes are good. If we come right now, we all been heaven. We have to die, heaven to hell, right? If God come to you right there and He say, "I'm gonna give you 1,000," He gonna say, "What are you gonna use it with you?" We know so many things. We learn, we see, we watch. But if God come to you and He say, "After that, I'm done," but you're not gonna use it. If He say, "What are you gonna use with the words that you're gonna use? I'm gonna give you 1,000 a time. What are you gonna use it with it? Mm-hmm. What are you gonna speak? Are you gonna be talk? You gonna be talking foolishness? You're gonna think exactly what you're finna say because
Right.
every time you losing, you do your life.
Right.
Right. So God come to you and say, "I'm gonna give you 1,000."
1,000 words to speak.
Right.
I say
When
this
I'm
to
done.
I say this to the kids sometimes. What he's saying
Teach
is,
Yeah.
if God said you only get 1,000 more words for the rest of your life to speak, and on your 1,000th word, I'm gonna snatch you up out of here. We would be more careful and mindful
Absolutely.
of the words that we say
Without a doubt.
every day. I wouldn't speak
Your
much.
words would be measured.
They would be measured.
Right.
But the thing is, our time is measured.
Absolutely.
We ain't finna be here no 100 and 200 years.
Right.
It is what it is. And
We
so
all got an expiration date.
So
He says it's but a vapor, right?
it's so my point is, that's right. This podcast and what you're doing is a great thing in Tampa.
Appreciate it.
because it gives the common man
Yes, sir.
somebody that is common who can release things on our level, and it makes our community stronger and it's better. And I'm commending y'all
I
for
appreciate
coming
it,
here
man.
and doing what y'all doing
Yeah.
because Tampa has never had this.
But we definitely want to provide that platform, and then I'm always one for human interest.
That's
and
right.
we have a lot of people come on different things, but I told you when I saw you, we got mutual friends, and I said, man, this dude doing this thing with baseball. I said, I got to try to connect with him. And I hit you in Messenger.
Right.
Hit me back with the
Right.
vibe, and I said,
That's
okay,
right.
well, hey, let's set the date.
That's right.
Whenever you can
That's
come,
right. Right.
we're gonna put it together.
Man.
We're gonna bring
me
you on
back.
here.
Bring me back.
We're gonna do
I'll be
that.
happy to bring whatever you want to talk about.
No,
It
but
ain't
like I say,
just-
what you got? That
it's whatever.
baseball.
Yes, sir.
I'm really intrigued by that because I want to see more black and brown kids playing baseball.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And I want to see that because I tell people all the time is that some people don't have the opportunities that are given to others.
That's right.
So we already are behind.
That's
to
right.
begin with.
That's right. Can I say this? Can I say?
yourself. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback on that. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever you was blamed for something that somebody in your family did, and you had nothing to do with it, and every time you that situation came up, it was your father or your uncle, and that's why I don't like you. But you was in a position to be a blessing to that person.
Right.
But all they kept doing was bringing up something that had nothing to do with you.
Right.
So when we're talking about baseball and America's pastime, to get more black and brown participation, we have to come up with solutions because sometimes certain groups of people who are in a position to bless us have nothing to do with what has happened and what's going on.
Right.
And it makes them feel funny when
Right.
people bring up race.
Right.
It's the elephant in the room.
Right.
And so it should be talked about on certain levels, but on our level, some people don't have nothing to do with it. They just want their kid to play baseball.
Right.
His son plays with people from all ethnicities.
Right.
And they come from an inner city situation.
Right.
Everybody don't have everybody shouldn't be blamed for the inadequacies in the sport of baseball.
Some wounds are self-inflicted for sure.
It is. We just have to learn how to come together as people and just move forward.
And it's all about seeing each other win, especially with kids. I'm on board with anything to help kids.
That's right.
Ascend, whatever it is, athletically, academic, and that's something like, we talk about. Nowadays, it's more athlete-student than student-athlete.
That's right.
If you understand where I'm going with it. So we put too much energy
I think so too.
into, he do this. What them grades looking like?
You ain't going nowhere if you ain't got no grades.
Right. We friends on Facebook. Never fails. You're going to see prom outfits. You're going to see grad bash outfit. You're going to see homecoming outfits. First day of school clothes.
That's it.
What that first semester report card looking like? I want to see that too.
They down there.
Let me see that.
That's it. And they really with a straight face, they think they going to college. You got to have grades, man. I went to college. I had grades.
Yeah.
I had grades. And I'm happy that it went that way because it's the odds are against everybody to be a professional anything.
Right.
And I get what my father was saying. You have to have an education.
Yeah.
So it went the way that God wanted it to go.
And it worked. And like I said, you making a difference. And that's my thing is you making a difference.
Yes,
both
sir.
of y'all making a difference.
Yes,
and I think that's the thing
that's right.
A lot of people sit around and talk about what they could do, what I should have did, I didn't.
That's
right. Y'all 10 toes down.
That's it. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's those who are doing it and those who are not. It's cut and dry. You either in or you out.
Right.
You either right or you wrong. There's no in between. If you're gonna do it, then come all the way with it. Look like a coach.
Yes, sir.
Look at some coaching videos. Get some certification.
Yeah.
Be for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't
mess around with it.
These are kids.
Right.
These are kids.
Easily influenced.
They're easily influenced.
Right.
And so you have to show them what baseball really looks like at a higher level.
Right.
And it keeps the ones that are interested, it keeps them interested in the sport. And that grows our game. It makes our game expand. And it's good for our people in our community.
And we definitely need some more umpires anyway. So
man, what you say, man?
Here you go.
Hey, what? We about to get off, so I had to say it.
Brother.
Well, hey, we'll talk about that next time.
Hey, well, look, we're gonna recognize those that keep the lights on. Torre, you go ahead and get us started, man. My man Will D left us a couple years ago. We're coming up on the anniversary of my partner leaving us. So get online, Cigar Life, CIGARLYFE.com. Got some good stuff on there. Go check him out.
Our monitor's dead over here.
Yeah, the monitor's dead over here, Torre. But go ahead, Dawes, do your thing with
me.
Yeah, GD Naps. Yeah.
Oh, so Greg, it's still there. Greg Dawes, GD9 attorney, pro se consultants. We help people who have a difficult time navigating the difficult process sometimes of courtroom. Don't give legal advice, but if you need legal advice, you can always reach out to me, and I could probably help you with contacting Life Malcolm Law. I am on my way out more so than being on my way to continue doing this. We're going to kind of narrow it.
He's still going to help people. I don't know why
I'm narrowing.
Stop all that.
I'm narrowing it to simple consultations. Okay. But we're actually, I'm gonna holler at Torres. I think I might do something to.
You got one more album. You got one more tour in you. Don't do all that.
Hey, listen, I got things to work on as well. Quite a few cases, but we're gonna work on getting maybe adding a service that allows me to sit in on some Zoom hearings, kind of like the ones that you can find on my YouTube page. But that being said,
good stuff. Also, we're gonna go to
looking for umpires.
Carlos Martin, the auto repair center. Go check them out. 813-443-4730. North 40. Right now, he pulling for he back with the Nuggets.
Okay.
He back with the Nuggets, and now he done jumped over with the Pacers. He like the Pacers now.
Yeah,
so he done switch. He done went from the Wolves.
He don't switch hard.
Yeah, all the way. He done came all the way out.
But Rudy didn't look good after that. You give somebody a trophy, boy, things get rough, don't they?
Hey, man, you still got to play with Kuda Piece. The game got to be played still.
Give him a trophy, boy. It's ugly.
Then also, you see me rocking our 813 Chop Shop shirts. My being black is priceless. Elevate Designs, 813-400-7015.
Yes, sir.
Go support the brand. Go check them out. Torre put the website together. Thank you, brother. Pull up Waldo, what you call Odell Beckham, my little brother on there for King's Care. Check them out.
And they got an event coming up, don't we?
Yeah, they do. King's Care, made for a king, made by a queen. So you go check. They on Amazon. They put it together, man. They got some great stuff going.
Miami Dolphin, Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, Dolphins fan. So that,
Okay.
He's straight Miami. My bad.
Yeah, he
my
is
bad.
down there. Yeah.
My bad. My bad. Fresh kid ice. I apologize. So yeah, pull them up. Go online www.kingscare.com. Best barbecue in the city, man. Ain't no debate. Conan's Barbecue. 1510 North Huber, 813.
What time they close?
They close at 7 on Thursday, 9 Friday, Saturday, 7 on Sunday. They close today.
They close the day.
Yeah, they back at it on Thursday. So go check them out, man.
Right?
Oh man, solid. Hey, his heart big as his head, man.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing I wouldn't do for him. Heart big as his head.
His reputation definitely precedes him.
Man, great
good
dude.
people, man.
Great dude, man.
And actually, what's called up? We got 2 more to recognize. Pull Up Wingstop. We got 9 locations in the Bay Area. We over there not too far from where y'all be getting down at 2115 East Hillsborough.
Yes, sir.
559-1527. I'm going to take you back to your younger days. Down there, right there by Club Joy. Down baby. 813-374-3566. I know you probably hit Kathleen when you came home on leave. 4217 South Florida, 863-450-2353.
Boy, he know his history.
Yes, sir. And I know you done took a young lady when you just schooled to Malibu out there, 915 North Florida, 813-851-0088.
Right with the bumper cars.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know he played at Plant, so down there, I know he played against them 107 South Dale Bay, 813-551-2423. Out there by the outlet, his neck of the woods out there by the outlet ball, 813-705-9464. And if he cruise out there on Bruce B. Down, 813-536-0222. Old School University Mall area, 2776 to a Fowler, 813-903-9464.
We're getting out there at 154, aren't we, sometime soon?
Yeah, we going to Zephyr Hills on 24th.
24th, okay.
Then we got 9305 North 56 Chop Shop headquarters, 813-373-5174.
How?
So we finna get y'all on what we call rapid fire. We're gonna shoot y'all some questions just off the cup, dead crazy. So ain't finna ask you nothing about beach weekend Daytona and nothing like that. So this gonna be safe. This ain't ask you about the CIA tournament back in the day.
I went to AIT at Fort Lee, so yeah, I was.
I ain't gonna ask you when you was up there hanging out with Jawad Howard up there in DC back in the day. We ain't gonna do none of that. So don't worry about that tonight.
Okay.
Go check them out. Boss Hunter Company LLC. Your load is our strength. Nick Wilson, my partner Renee Norton Smith. 813-364-4390. So let's go and get in the rapid fire real quick with these good brothers right here.
All right.
Biggest rival at Hillsborough when you played baseball. Who was y'all rival?
Oh man, everybody was gunning for us. Everybody. Well, in baseball?
Baseball.
Oh, Plant, Jefferson,
University,
Chamberlain.
Okay. No King, no Tech.
We ain't see them.
Didn't see him at all?
We ain't see them.
No, he said 89, right?
89. We ain't see them.
Okay.
No factor. No factor.
Steve Garvey's already gone, huh?
Yeah, he been gone. Best road game environment for baseball. Like, okay, this is like you wake up like, okay,
we going over here to play.
Yeah. You ain't got to anybody got to hype you up. You already on the bus. You ready?
Sal Dino tournament at King High School.
Lord have mercy.
That's when Sal Dino's at Sal Dino tournament King High School.
They still had it, right?
Yeah, they still got it there. But like you say, but back then it meant a little more.
Yeah.
Because like you said, these are kids you growed up with a lot of these cats. I know Chris was at King, so you knew them. Devontae was at Brandon.
I stand to be corrected. That 87 team Chris was on with Shag and Derek Bell.
Yeah, they were tough.
And Algier.
Now
that was a big deal because they came to Hillsborough our sophomore year. Okay. And they put it down. They beat us like 4-3 or something like that. It was Kiki Jones against Algerian Williams. They both was 10th graders.
Okay.
Certified flamethrowers, 90 plus. Now that was a big game.
You remember your last high school game baseball? Who you lost to?
Oh man, listen.
Talk to me.
We was ranked maybe 3 or 4 in the nation.
Oh wow.
Number 1 in the state.
Okay.
And we lost the first game in the districts against Jefferson.
I knew what that one was going to be.
Are you serious?
It was a heartbreaker.
Absolutely.
Season over with.
Man, listen, we was on Scholastic Sports America. We was on ESPN.
Y'all would have talked there.
We was one of the top teams. We was the top team in the state.
Yeah, y'all lost your district
first
tournament game
in the district. They lit my man up. They lit me.
Y'all was at Hillsborough. Y'all
was at Jefferson. He struck out the first two. Listen, they struck out the
World Series.
He struck out the first 2 battles, and they just caught fire, and all the cowbells, man, they was screaming and hollering.
That was a tough. That was a tough bus ride back.
If I'm correct, that's who we beat to go to the state championship in '85.
In '85, yeah, that was that year. Sheffield was a sophomore.
It's the year that
Tino Martinez. Yeah, Tino Martinez was out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Favorite food?
Don't look surprised.
Sheffield was a junior in '85.
Yeah, you're right. Favorite food?
Oh man, I got 3. I like fried chicken. Spaghetti and hamburgers.
Okay.
Yeah, fried chicken, spaghetti, and hamburgers.
Biggest pet peeve with dealing with these kids, baseball.
They soft, man. They soft. This is the generation Z. This generation Z.
Entitlement.
Hospital cotton.
The spirit of entitlement is on them.
Hospital
real bad.
cotton. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, they soft out. They soft. Like
favorite baseball movie.
Favorite baseball movie, The Natural.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, The Natural.
I thought I was gonna say Sandler. I thought I was gonna say Sandler.
The Natural. The Wonder Boy got that bat. It would hit. It was a special bat. I think lightning hit it, and he was out of the game for a moment. He got back in the game, but he had a pass. And
favorite baseball player not from Tampa.
Baseball player not from Tampa. Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
What
about you?
Not from Tampa?
Not from Tampa.
Oh, Jesus, it's gonna be a hard one.
Barry Bonds.
It gotta be Ricky.
Ricky Anderson.
He's my favorite baseball player of all time. So
I take that back. I stand to be corrected.
Go ahead.
Eric Davis.
I like ED.
Eric Davis. Eric Davis. Eric Davis was a bad boy. He was from Los Angeles.
Playing with Strawberry.
Yeah.
But mine was Kirby Puckett.
Eric Davis. Yeah.
Puckett was my guy. Puckett was my guy.
Chicago.
I was built like him too.
Yeah. Kirby Puckett was a bad boy.
Yeah, he was tough from Chicago. Rest on Kirby.
Yeah.
Favorite all-time Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
My favorite all-time Tampa Bay Buccaneer. James Wilder, boy.
James Wilder, that was your guy?
James Wilder, yes.
And I'm telling you, it's funny. His son is turning the Chamberlain around, man. They did a good feature on him last week. I saw that.
James Wilder, all right with me. Know him personally.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's told it now.
Yeah.
He's told it.
James Wilder, all right. James was all right.
Do everything.
He held it down when he played. He held. I think he went to Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, went to Missouri.
Now, I'm going to call these 4 names out. These are legends in the city.
Okay.
Funniest guy out these 4: Dwight, Sheffield, Derek, Carl Everett.
The funniest?
The funniest. Like just straight entertainment. Like we finna cut up. I already know we finna cut up with him.
That Derek Bell a fool with it, man.
Yeah.
Derek Bell a fool with it.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I've been trying to get Carl. Carl need a show. Carl Everett. Carl need to show. Carl
funny.
But he called it. What I would like about him, he called it like it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Carl go call it whatever it is.
Carl is my guy.
Yeah. Good
Carl
dude.
is my guy.
Good dude.
I mean, we all came out the sandbox together. Know him real good. All of us still talk.
Okay. Good stuff.
Call something else. But the thing listen, man. Carl ain't never lied.
No, he gonna say it.
He gonna say it.
And he's speaking.
I know a couple of his cousins really well.
He speak his mind.
Favorite last one. Favorite city to travel to. I got one more. Favorite city to travel to
in America.
Wherever.
Anywhere where I love to go. New York City.
New York City.
Yeah, New York City. Yeah, I know. I had an uncle. My dad had a uncle that lived in New York. I used to like to go up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going back 80s because I know you back in that era. Who had the livest uniform to you, baseball? In the 80s.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
The Houston Astros, man.
Yes, sir. With the stripes, with that
Houston
star.
Astros, man.
It wasn't that like
I got that Nolan Ryan jersey to this day.
You bring it out every now and then?
I put them on, man. I have it from the cleaners right off of 22nd Street. Yes, sir. Gold earring. I put my gold fronts on, all that. I'm in the city.
You showing out there? Okay.
I'm showing out, dog.
Okay.
You know, it's Tampa, Tampa boy.
What's my man that pitched for them?
J.R. Richard.
Yes, sir. J.R. Richard, Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan.
Mike Scott.
Mike Scott. Mike Scott. Terry Poole, Bob Watson, Cesar Daniel, Jose Cruz. They
you a baseball man. Terry Poole, Dickie Thorne, Glenn Davis.
But they couldn't beat the Mets.
Nah, they couldn't do nothing with the
Mets. They couldn't beat the Mets. They couldn't beat the Mets.
Yeah, they couldn't do nothing with the Mets.
That was hard to play, hit a home run out of too. The Astros back in the day. Yeah.
Derek Bell hit a lot of bombs that didn't go out. That was a big field.
Yeah.
It was a huge field.
That was a big field.
They were 430 straightaway center.
Yeah, that's when they had Carl out there.
Yeah.
They had Bagwell. Caminetti and Derek
BGO.
and BGO.
Killer B.
Yeah, that was a nice squad.
Like I said, good. We got to get that baseball back. I'm glad y'all came and kicked it on with us today, man. This is good stuff. So
I thought you would like some more questions, man. I keep on going.
no, like I said, I got to get Torres out of here, man. Torres been off all. He got to go back to work tomorrow. I ain't gonna keep him here all night.
Hey, what about the hat?
I don't want his wife to jump on him.
This hat right here. This is my man. You want a hat? So I'll get one for you next time I come. This is the Michael Givens Back Foundation. You can find him on Google. He's giving back to the inner city.
Okay.
The name is.
I'll get one.
Yeah, how much? Yeah, we'll buy. How much are they? We'll buy them.
Go on the website.
Okay.
It's Michael Givens, the Michael Givens Foundation. He has bliss ball tournaments every year at the beginning of the year. And he gives back so much
Put up the
to inner city
website
kids.
when he gets it to you, Torres, if you have it already, so we can get one. And I'll go ahead and purchase one.
He the Michael Givens Foundation.
Okay,
the Givens is called the Givens Back Foundation, and
I like that.
and yeah, today is my man birthday, Michael Givens' birthday. Happy birthday, Mike! We appreciate you, man, giving back. And he gives back citywide. He put these kids in travel ball tournaments.
I got one more for you. Favorite Major League stadium to visit? I know you're a baseball guy, so I know you probably been to a couple different venues.
Oh man, the favorite one to visit is nothing like Yankee Stadium. Nothing like naked Yankee.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
I'll
like
tell you
it.
now. I
like
heard
Yankee.
Dodger Stadium is like
That's old school.
they say that's like that's what we owe like Fenway Park,
right.
Wrigley Field.
We gotta
Comiskey.
get out on something, Lord willing, on some of the ones we still have standing.
I said like I remember
Yankee
like
Stadium ain't the same
I
Yankee Stadium.
didn't like turf.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
The one in the Bronx, but they still have that support.
And it's still that nostalgia, even though it's
is.
no longer, but it's
It
still.
is. It is.
And them Yankee fans, they love Yankee, Cowboys, and Lakers. They ready to fight at any given time.
Right. The Yankees.
Well,
I like
only
the
we're
Yankees.
good, so the
I like,
Cowboys and the Yankees don't count.
I like New York. I like Shea
Okay.
Stadium. I used to like Shea Stadium. And it's another one I went to before.
They say Candlestick was nice.
Where was that I went to?
What's Wrigley like?
When we lived in Ohio. I never been to
Riverfront.
Riverfront.
Cincinnati.
When we lived in
Okay,
Ohio.
Lord,
and I
That
go-
is right there. That
Yeah,
is right
yeah.
there. Strength and Unity.
That's him.
Give Us
That's
Back
him.
Foundation, man. Go check that out. Support.
Yeah, that's
Strength
Mike.
and Unity. So they got the website
Michael
up.
Please send that to me
Michael
also.
Yeah,
That's
so we
Michael
got
Gibbons.
that.
He's
So
all right, man.
Thank
He's
you.
all right, brother. He's from Tampa, and he
lot of
gives.
great talent came out of this area.
He's from Tampa. He's under us, and he's giving back so much to all the kids, and he doesn't turn anybody away. You know,
Well, that's what it's about. Like I say, making a difference. That's what we got to do as people. So
right.
we're gonna let you
Absolutely.
guys get out of it. Like I said, we really
Appreciate you.
enjoyed this tonight,
Appreciate
man.
you,
This was therapeutic here, man. Like I said, I've been
Yeah, I
looking
could tell. I was looking in your eyes. I could tell I was looking like,
Oh yeah,
wow.
like,
He
I'm
was
on
like,
that.
wow.
Yeah, I love baseball. Like I said, it's just
I
it's such
my
a
baseball
long
took
sport.
these
We
umpires.
don't get into it, like as far because it's football, basketball. That's the narrative. So like I watched the Braves last night, so I try to watch the Rays, but the Braves are my team. Yeah. So that's what I like to watch them. So
Yeah, I
Brother,
love
you're
the
not
Rays.
wrong. I still watch the Braves.
okay,
I
that's
still
fair.
watch the
then.
Braves. I still
So-
watch the Braves. Braves is America's team.
So they say, but I don't know. I mean, just 'cause we had the cable, but Yankees are probably the most popular
Well,
team.
we
but
understand they're in the
we on
bigger
TV.
market, but I'm saying like us Southern boys.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah,
we
without a
watching, we
doubt.
tuning in the Braves, man.
That
We
was-
was
we
raised on the
separate-
Braves.
we
I'm
already
actually
watching the
born in
Braves.
Warner Robins, but
Oh, what you? Okay,
yeah, but
okay.
now
already
my that's my parents met. remember?
Okay, yeah.
But,
I had a lot of friends. Warner Robins. They had that fair down by Fort. What was that? Perry.
Perry.
I used to go to the fair.
Yeah, Little Peak
back in the
Fair,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to go down there.
Fort
But when the
Valley
Rays
State,
came
I
out,
got down
I
there.
gravitated to the Rays. And, I had some issues with Mr. Cox, too, especially some base running issues.
Yeah.
Came
Hey, man, so-
Hey, man, yeah.
So
So let me ask y'all a question. Y'all think the Rays should come to Tampa one day? How you think they'll do if
Absolutely.
they come to
I
Tampa?
think they should have.
They should. I mean,
I
they
had no
should.
problem
I
with,
think they
with the
should.
trop. I think it's comfortable.
Yeah.
People gonna complain about everything.
Right, this is true.
But there's more people here than there is in St. Pete. So,
well,
So they'll get more
and they were
support.
called the Tampa Bay.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
but like I say, we finna let y'all get out of here, man.
All right, my
Torres,
man.
thank you for being patient king with us tonight. We got a guest here, King. I don't know your name, but good to see you, bro.
Willie.
Okay, Willie.
Great job.
Okay, thank you, man. So for
Did the
Coach Barnes,
podcast with you, right,
Coach
Willie?
Barnes, Coach Anderson, my man Ruff. Once again,
What?
shout out to all the mamas out there, man. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. And as we do every week, man, everybody want to be an artist, want to be a star, don't want to see the executive producer, all the videos, all the record, dancing. Come to Death Row. We finna get out of here, man. We got Kyle McDowell coming to King with us next Monday, man. So keep God first, love your family. When you see us, holler. We gone. Good night.
Man, that's what's up, man. Wow.